Hey, can I have some extra sauce? Here you go, sir. Here you go. Whatever. Get out of here, boy. Whatever. I don't know. Hope to God they don't ever say that. But even if they do, they have a reason. They have a reason. It may be their boss just yelled at them. It may be they just lost their mom that day. Their girlfriend just left them. You're the 500th customer that has come through asking for sauce when they're running out. You don't know. But if they're upset, they have a reason for being upset. If there's a quarrel, and actually that goes back to Nola's point, it's just, why do you quarrel? Because you don't ask. Well, why don't you ask? Or why are you not getting when you ask? Because you have not because you asked not. Why are you not getting? Well, because you're not doing what's right. You're not asking for the right things, or with the right intention. Excuse me. Now of course that's on a biblical standpoint, but that's now how I think most of us are living our lives. So as bad as I feel for people that are listening, they're like, well, I don't really want to hear about Jesus Christ and this and the other. That even though you don't want to hear about it, that's what's helping me forgive you, even when I have done nothing wrong. That's what's helping me forgive you when there's nothing whatsoever that I feel like I have done incorrectly, or even if I have, I'm going to do it anyway. You know what I mean? Hey, I'm sorry, dude. I didn't realize I came off like that. I've gone back to people, I'm so sorry. So anyway, all that to say, I've just begun looking at things in a completely different light, completely different in the past year.
Yeah, one of the things that I think is very poignant is a lot of times when we feel offended, it may not be our issue. A lot of times we might internalize it, but it might not even be our issue. It could definitely be somebody else's issue. And it could be also that they are going through a time and dealing with their issues. That's another area where we have to start looking at perspective. I think one of the things that I liked that you mentioned, something that I wanted to piggyback on, you talked about how different people are in different places. They might be emotionally in a particular place. They might be physically exhausted. They might have other issues. Where do you think rebuke comes in, dealing with conflict? Where does rebuke come in? Like, man, you know what? I feel like you did me wrong. Where does that come in?
Yeah. I feel like when it's stepped over, like if offending someone's child, offending someone's spouse, wife, girlfriend, I think that's kind of when someone needs to be told. Or there's a time for me, I rebuke people immediately if I have a situation that I feel like needs to be addressed. But again, you have to define the word rebuke as it means to you or to me, because to me, immediately if somebody says something that I feel is disrespectful, like out in public, like, me and you were talking and, there's a pretty girl right there and you're, man, shut up, you idiot. Right then and there, I want to tell you, hey, listen, it's okay that you want to impress her, but I'd appreciate it if you didn't use me as the way to do it.
You don't want to be the flunky,
please,
of course,
please don't do
right.
That. So, but like I said, that's one of those things I would definitely say, but at the same time, I wouldn't be in a mean spirit because you had a reason. Even in something as simple as that. Hey, I think she's pretty and maybe she'll think I'm cool if I'm a tough guy. Dude, I understand. Hey, maybe you guys can get hooked up. Just try not to use me, in a negative way.
Yeah, don't throw me under the bus. Yeah.
So, anyway.
So I was listening to Mustang and he's right with the rebuking. But there's a lot of ways to rebuke, and it's based upon how you feel. And one of my examples was I have my brother-in-law. We was all sitting down one Saturday, and I was just talking, and I said, listen, I don't know how we got on the subject, but I said, if I can help it, I'm going to make it to where my sons and them don't have to worry about paying any type of school tuition, college tuition. And he said, well, good luck with that, because as long as you're in America, your kid's going to come out with a student loan. And I had to rebuke him. Like, no, I rebuke you. And the reason why I rebuked him is because the Bible says that there's power in the tongue. And if God spoke the world into existence and then said to his son, let us go make men in our image, then we carry that same possession of power. We just don't know how effective we can become with it. So for me to let him say, your kids will have that kind of debt, I rebuke you. Not that you're Satan. I'm rebuking that command that you just threw at them, because I don't need your negative words on my kids' lives. If my goal is to make it to where they don't have to take out a student loan, just because you're there, you can't cast that same negative comment on my kids. So there are a lot of ways to rebuke people based upon how they speak certain things into your life. Oh, that's a bad child. No, don't rebuke. I rebuke you. You're not going to say my kid is bad. He's a kid. He may be a little bit rambunctious and doing things out of the ordinary, but you're not going to say he's bad, because that's a negative conversation. And, then kids grow up and become that person that people just don't want to deal with, all because one person said that kid, and the mom and them didn't say nothing. They just laughed it off. Well, it don't happen here with me. So when you got people that just come into your space and just start saying, "Oh, that ain't gonna never happen," I rebuke you. You can't come near my house no more. Why? Because you're not a positive spirit.
You know,
and so
I'm sorry. Yeah, I think what you're saying is a valid point. We have to set. That's another component where we have to set positive boundaries. A lot of times we're treated in ways that are unfortunate because we haven't set clear and open boundaries. And it's harder when we have an expectation for people and those boundaries are not clear. And so people either step on them or they don't necessarily respect boundaries, but they may not even know that you have them. And I think that's one of the things that really starts to speak to the need for forgiveness, the issue of expectation versus the reality. So a lot of times if you take, for example, if they say that the difference between the expectation and the reality is where disappointment sets in. And I think that's a very true statement. So if you have an expectation of your buddy, I just turned $1 million deal and you tell your buddy and your buddy's like, "Oh man, come on, whatever, ain't no biggie." Then if you expected affirmation and you didn't get it, that expectation and the reality didn't meet, and there goes the disappointment. Now, that other person may not have ever known that you had that expectation. So there are some times where we have to look within ourselves to see if it's our issue. Sometimes we, as Mustang alluded to earlier, it could in fact be somebody else's issue. So let's talk about that element of rebuke, and I want to focus on that real quickly. I think confrontation in a positive way to actually let someone know where you stand is an important aspect of setting proper boundaries. So if you tell someone, "Hey man, I really wish you would have, been a little cooler with me on that. This is what I was hoping for, and that's not kind of what I got." Or if you got somebody who continuously disregards your opinions, that can be a very, very difficult place to be in terms of maintaining a relationship with that. So you have to sometimes make yourself vulnerable in that you have to share what your boundaries are. And then subsequently, once you share those boundaries, you leave it up to the person to place themselves how they see it to their comfort zone. And some people may choose not to end up being in your life because they don't recognize your boundaries and don't recognize your particular line or your expectations, or they may not regard your expectations. What do you guys think of that? Anybody can chime in on that.
Number 73, meet you where you at. I have a couple of scenarios, and I'm going to go back to the 80s and the 90s when I was growing up in New Orleans. I had categories of friends. And so if I was out at the club, I had those friends that, that had the club mindset. If I was just wanting to relax and chill, I had those friends that just wanted to relax and chill. And so each one of my sets of friends we had different boundaries. I know that there was some that just was cussing like a sailor. So those were the ones I hung when we went to do the mischievous thing that we was going to do. But when I didn't want to deal with that, I had other friends that was just more mild-mannered, that was more respectful, that was more, catering to how you really wanted to be treated. And so even in today's time, I still have those groups of friends, even as a Christian. You're going to still have some big mouth people, and you're going to have some moderate people. You're going to have some laid-back Christians as friends. And, some people you might have to cut out your life because it's just too much stuff that you just can't deal with. But some people you have to keep in your life. You just have to know where to categorize them. And that's something that I think a lot of us don't do. We don't know how to categorize our friends. We just say that they are friends, and there's no limitation, and it's all expectation.
Right. And I think that's a great point. I think there's also one of the other concerns that I have is knowing when that person is not a friend, when that person is just an associate or a colleague or something other than that. And you talked about those categories, and I think a lot of times we end up needing to forgive when we have the expectation that a friend should be in one category versus another. I think also, so that again goes back to some introspection and where we as individuals have to say, hey, wait a minute, maybe I need to do some evaluation, and some people need to be in this category and some people need to be in another. So I think that there's some merit to what you're saying. Mustang, let me ask you, when you're dealing with conflict. Now, we were dealing mainly with guys. We're going to switch gears. When you're dealing with male to female conflict, and sometimes there are those language barriers, What do you find is a method that allows for quicker resolution, quicker clarity, quicker solutions that are peaceful and not just a Mexican standoff with, gun to gun and y'all just walking in silence? What do you see as ways to keep the lines of communication open while still dealing with conflict and being forgiving?
That one's come easier with me. Has become easier for me when I began to understand, other people's side. Same thing, this is may open up a can of worms, it may not. Hey, but what are we doing this for? Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, perfect example. I've got friends who are for Trump. I've got friends who are for Clinton. And it doesn't bother me one way or another who you're for. It really doesn't, if this exact same election was 1 year ago, I think I would have been going nuts. But, like I said, over the past year or so, it's just, you have your reasons and your feelings for voting for Trump. You have your reasons and your feelings for voting for Hillary very strongly, and you obviously have a passion, either, it's an informed passion or a misinformed passion, but you've got a passion for voting. But I'm just saying, I'm just being honest. You got a passion for voting for who you want to vote for. So, and who am I to stand in your way? So, but more than that, what I did, and anybody who has my Facebook can see what I did. What I did was I took a picture of, everybody's flying back and forth. Anybody who's seen Facebook everybody's flying back and forth, and they're showing all of these crazy images of people burning, burning the flag, for one party, and then people writing F this and F that for the other party. And what I did on my Facebook page, if you scroll down, I was like, you know what, man, like, if you show this, okay, what's our ultimate goal? What's my ultimate goal? And this is going to answer your point. I promise what you're saying. So in a conflict, what is our ultimate goal? My ultimate goal is to either A, resolve the conflict is what mine would be, period. It would resolve whatever conflict. But B, if it's not, to at least gain an understanding about your side so that I'm not upset and help you to gain an understanding about my side. So maybe that would be the secondary if we're not resolving the conflict, is at least you walk away with a little bit more knowledge of my side. Okay, I see where you're coming from. And the same for me. I see where you're coming from. So instead of me posting a picture of who I'm favored for, or if I'm favored for anybody that's even up there, no comment on that. But all that to say, I was like, you know what? So I went and found a picture of Barack Obama in what I thought looked like a very genuine setting. He looked like he was hugging some kids, some school children. They looked like they were just excited, just the fact that he was there. I found a picture of Hillary Clinton when I don't know how many years ago, it was when she first got married to Bill, and she was just beautiful as she could be. She was just gorgeous. He was a handsome guy. And I found a picture of Trump at a baseball game with his daughter, Ivanka, when she was really teeny tiny little. And you could tell the way he was talking to her, and she was just starry-eyed staring at the players, and looked like he was talking to her. Every single one of those pictures looked genuine. They could have been fake, but they all could have been phoning it up, but they all looked real, and they all looked genuine at the time. And so my point behind all that is I just feel like there's times when we can either say, I just want to scream the loudest and be the loudest person, to shout my side and get you to hear me, what I'm saying. Or, hey, listen, guys, you've got a reason for doing what you're doing. I've got a reason for doing what I'm doing. You know what I mean? It's actually okay to have two different opinions. That's okay.
Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why we assembled the group that we assembled. I don't know that all of I think it's really powerful. One of the strongest groups, or the dynamic of the group, is that we all come from different areas, different backgrounds, different socioeconomics. But the beauty of it is that the effect of being able to have different perspectives gives us a broader perspective. So I think that even in the course of just talking, we get a chance to see opinions and understand things in ways that we probably wouldn't have, because it may not have been from our perspective. I think there's one thing, B.A., you look like you wanted to say something, and I'm gonna cut to you here in just a second. I think one of the things that you brought out, Mustang, and I think it bears repeating, is the notion that if you can't hear what the opposition is saying, there's very little chance of understanding their perspective. And I think the critical factor when you're dealing with in-the-house conflict, not just Facebook conflict or work conflict or whatever, if you don't understand where the other person's coming from, even if they are genuine and sincere, if you don't make the effort to at least hear what they have to say, then you're more likely to end up remaining in conflict and not able to forgive. And then the result is that there isn't peace. There isn't that, that peace that passes all understanding. And I just think that